Yo, what's happening, people? Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host, Jan. How do I feel? Liverpool won, Chelsea won. Ultimately, a really good result away at Anfield against title contenders, considering the circumstances with 10 men, a magisterial defensive performance in the second half from the Blues. In fact, we were dominating Liverpool for large portions of the game when we had the full complement of our team. Welcome back to the channel. We're going to talk about this game. We are going to talk about Anthony Taylor. Please do drop a like on this video. If you hate Anthony Taylor, consider subscribing as well, friends. Oh my god. And yeah, you can follow me on Instagram as well. The widget's in the corner. Alright, so let's talk about this game a little bit. Went to Anfield, opening few minutes, we were absolutely, maybe it's the atmosphere. You know what, let's talk about this first. I'm really rolled up, man. So, in the opening minutes, they were on top of us, but then we completely dominated them. We scored a goal through Kai Havertz, and we could have scored more. We had 2, or maybe even 3, gilt-edged chances where a ball just needs to be played. Kante needs to play a straight ball into the 6-yard box into Lukaku, or a ball needs to be squared to Mount or Havertz in different situations. There were so many situations like that where we could have gone 2-3-0 up. We're going to look at the lineups now. We will talk about this penalty incident. Okay, so let's have a look. Full time, 1-1. The opening goal scored by Chelsea in the 22nd minute. Reece James, man of the moment, passing to Kai Havertz. Firmino gets an injury, has to force Klopp into an early sub in the first half. Diogo Jota comes on. Reece James gets sent off for this penalty decision. Right. Okay. It's absolutely a penalty. I saw that at the first and I was like, oh, he's not going to get away with that. I know sometimes if the ball bounces off and hits them, it's nothing, but the fact how it prevented a goal, I was like, yeah, it's probably going to be a penalty. He might even get a yellow. And he was sent off. Not only was he sent off, Anthony Taylor went to the VAR screen, glanced at it, and just went back. He didn't look at it. He didn't even look at it. He just went, he didn't even take a second to think about what was going on. This is the same referee, Anthony Taylor, who sent off Mateo Kovacic in the FA Cup against Arsenal for being fouled. His foot was stamped on. And that was it, and he got sent off, and that wasn't rescinded. Oh, the red card was rescinded in terms of the ban, but they didn't bring him back on in that game. It's the same ref who booked Marcus Alonso for being clattered by a goalkeeper, who then ultimately I think was sent off after that when the right call was made. This is the same referee who didn't do anything when Michy Batshuayi's nuts had Harry Maguire's studs pushed against him. I'm not going to go. I want to talk about the game because Chelsea were magnificent in parts, but the Premier League is the best league in the world. It's the highest quality of football, highest level of football. It's by far the richest league in the world, yet we are notorious for having the worst referees in the world. It's like a boys' club where they all protect each other. They're all old, overweight, most of them, and clearly they're just not fit. Now, yes, there's been so many incidents with Anthony Taylor and Chelsea. Yes, I'm bitter. Yes, I'm salty. Of course I am. I'm a football fan. But many fans across football, certainly Premier League fans, will tell you Anthony Taylor is a poor referee. He's been awful for everyone. So the fact how this guy hasn't been investigated yet is absolutely mental. Anyway, that's my take on that. So he gets sent off. Just before half time as well. Anything that happens just before half time. Mohamed Salah steps up, converts the penalty. Antonio Rudiger and Edouard Mendy get booked for having a go at the ball fraud. So Thomas Tuchel is forced into a change. 2 of them. He brings on N'Golo Kante. So he brings off N'Golo Kante because he was a bit injured. Kovacic comes in for Kante, straight swap. Kai Havertz is the man to suffer after scoring. By the way, I haven't even talked about Kai Havertz's goal. It was a lovely goal. It was an amazing goal. Well, he leaned back, shaped up for the header, and looped over Alisson. It was a beautiful goal, and I'll talk about the players in just a moment. But yeah, it was superb. And Salah converts the penalty. Great. So Kante injured. Mateo Kovacic comes on for him. And poor Kai Havertz, who scored a lovely goal, is understandably sacrificed in terms of the tactics for for Thiago Silva because Azpilicueta now takes the place of Reece James at right wing back, vacating a space for another centre back. And to be honest, when you need to defend against 11 men, when you've got 10 men, it's not bad being able to bring on Thiago Silva. Let's be real. Liverpool make more changes, and the very end, what I thought was quite telling. I think this was more to waste time, but Tuchel brings on Trevor Chalobah for Jorginho, and he plays him in midfield. He's now played him at right centre back, right back in pre-season, and indeed midfield as well. So he must really trust Chalobah, Thomas Tuchel, massively, which I think is really, really positive, and I like to see that. Let's have a look here. We still somehow managed 36% possession, even though playing a half of with 10 men. So we did some absolute titanic defending here. Lukaku, I mean, he's got a higher rating than Mason Mount. I think Mount was actually pretty darn good in this game. Jorginho and Kante, very good. Jorginho in the second half, defensively, was magnificent. He made so many tackles, interceptions, played out of pressure. I think he deserves immense credit. I think Alonso played really well. Before kickoff, I was incredibly concerned that Alonso was picked again. And Alonso's been excellent this season. That's not what I was concerned. Chilwell is a really good player. He dropped a masterclass in the Champions League final against champions Man City. And he's got a great engine on him for getting up and down, and he's really good at tackling. So I thought Alonso versus Salah, Elliott and Alexander-Arnold worried me. But, he did really, really, really well, Alonso, and deserves great respect. Christensen won man of the match on Sky Sports. Very good performance. And Mendy in goal. Yeah, great. Made loads of saves when we needed him. So, ultimately, we get a good point away at Anfield in the title race. I think, look, for who scored here, Liverpool got 6.66 rating. Chelsea actually got 6.75 rating. And like I said, Christensen won the man of the match. So ultimately, Chelsea, you'd say, were the better side at Anfield. Liverpool will feel frustrated that they did not capitalise off having an additional man on the pitch. And actually, if you think about it, if it was a red card but not a penalty, we would win that game because we win 1-0. Do you know what I mean? If that was a red card somewhere else on the pitch, say James gets 2 yellows and gets dismissed, then we win that game 1-0. So yeah, very good performances from the players on the pitch. And ultimately, look, Chelsea fans, understandably, will be really, really frustrated with Anthony Taylor, quite rightly. He's a bald-headed fraud and no one likes him. Sorry, this is post-match Chelsea fan. It's because we've got so much history with him. I'm going to take the positives. Chelsea were magnificent defensively. We don't give up chances. At Anfield, the fans were behind them, and they only managed to score because they had a penalty. We let them play outside our box with 10 men. We defended. We didn't try and play out and go for it. I was surprised I wasn't surprised when it actually happened that Chalobah came on for the final substitution, but I thought that Tuchel might go for it with Werner as a release valve, running the channels and pressing and maybe combining. But then again, who do you take off at that point? I think maybe if we had 11 players, Werner would have definitely come on, of course. But, Havertz has already had to come off. You've got Jorginho, Kovacic and Mount behind Lukaku, and they were all playing really, really well in terms of keeping Liverpool out. So you could maybe say Mason Mount, but he's so intelligent with his central midfield play that perhaps it would have been foolish to take out Mason Mount. So it was difficult. Ultimately, Tuchel made the right decisions. We can feel frustrated on the night. I think Reece James will feel frustrated because he played really well up until that point as well. And he was right to be on the line. He stopped the goal. Would his body slightly differently, it would have been an amazing goal line clearance. He had the assist for the goal. He could have gone on and played, better in the game as well after an amazing start. So it's frustrating, but a good result. Let's be positive about it. It's a good result. All the things considered, Liverpool dropped 2 points at home at the hands of Chelsea Football Club. So that's what I think. Although it feels like, because Chelsea's so good at the moment, it does feel like a bad result, but it's not. Ultimately, we'll look back at this in a few months and be like, what a good result considering, hopefully. Let me know, guys. What do you think? Comment down below. Please do consider dropping a like to make me feel better and subscribing. Hey, Only if you want to, friends. But yeah, I mean, it was an entertaining game for the neutrals, I'd imagine, and we've got plenty of more good football to come. So keep it locked to Football Therapy. Enjoy that football, and I'll see you later, guys. Peace.